I'm so glad it's out, and I think the world would be a much better place if it doesn't come back on.
You know, Ted Lasso a couple weeks ago on a show said, I used to think good people went to heaven and bad people went to hell. I found out that we're all both. So I'm not really sure how it works out. And the older I get, the more I realize that's the case with corporations and everything.
And this is coming in a day after a whistleblower revealed that the company Facebook prioritized profit over public good.
I mean, the world as we know it this morning is grinding to a significant halt.
It is scary.
I've had to put this stuff on my hands repeatedly because I don't know what to do with my hands without social media.
Facebook, WhatsApp, and Instagram have all gone down in a major outage overnight.
These outages do happen from time to time. Other social media companies experience them as well, but this is a particularly long one.
Hundreds of millions of people around the world using some of the most popular social media sites, Facebook, Instagram, and WhatsApp, have been forced offline in a major global blackout.
The issue is Facebook, Instagram, and WhatsApp have all been hit by a major global outage.
The three apps, which are all owned by Facebook and run on shared infrastructure, completely stopped working just before 3 o'clock this morning.
It's one of the longest outages, already lasting several hours, and Facebook's share price has plummeted by nearly 5%. It's not known what's caused the problems.
And there is a somewhat strange coincidence that Facebook is actually in the news today because of a whistleblower here in the United States who has been talking in the past 24 hours in a very embarrassing way for Facebook.
Frances Haugen, a former Facebook employee, coming forward publicly for the first time on 60 Minutes.
But first, a former Facebook employee who leaked thousands of pages of the company's internal research to the Wall Street Journal revealed her identity in a 60 Minutes interview that aired last night. Frances Haugen, a former project manager for Facebook, says her goal has been to help prompt change at the social media giant. When she quit the company in May, she took a trove of private research with her.
Haugen says Facebook's own research acknowledges that its platforms are harming the mental state of users. Most notably,
they'll make less money.
I'm not so sure we're in the gray area here with Facebook. This is they have documents that say their products destroy young girls' life. It gives young girls suicidal ideations, kills young girls. They really undermine American democracy.
You wonder, of course, if one company, Facebook, owning multiple major online platforms is a good idea.
Facebook is the public square that we inhabit, and you can walk away from that square. I get worried whenever I hear about regulation of content. We say, well, we're going to have to regulate Facebook. Regulating the content that we get scares me.
It's a trilogy of companies with one owner, and this afternoon it was the same message about them all. Facebook is down, Instagram isn't working, and WhatsApp went down too. The fact that all three companies have been impacted suggests that it's something right at the heart of that social media giant that's gone horribly wrong.
Facebook has servers everywhere, all over the world, to ensure that the service it delivers is of course, optimized and is a good service to the users. So the fact that it's global suggests that it's not a problem with its server system. It could well be a problem at the heart of the technological engine that runs all those servers.
Haugen, armed with tens of thousands of documents from when she worked at the company, points to a 2018 change to Facebook's algorithm, which determines what specific content shows up on your feed. She says since more people click on posts that make them angry, the algorithm incentivizes hateful and
saying that Facebook's own research has said that it amplifies hate, misinformation, and political unrest, but that the company is hiding what it knows.
It's hard in my lifetime to think of a company more out of control and one person, Mark Zuckerberg, more unaccountable to American democracy, to healthcare, to our children than Mark Zuckerberg.
The real question is what's going to be done about it on Capitol Hill.
Why don't they do anything about this?
And that's very hard for a lot of people.
I want to read a few different quotes from your book and kind of get your reaction to each. But you wrote, "I am alone. I mean, I live in a big house, play to big crowds, live a big, full life. But end of the day, it sometimes feels my life is empty."
Goals are lovely to have, but the more goals you have, when you achieve them, then you want more goals, then you want more goals, and then you want more goals. You're trying to fulfill an ego that will never be filled.
But it does say something about the human condition, you know. It says that here's an example of a man that had every dream and aspiration, every resource to do it and achieve those things, had every opportunity in the world to be happy, but then ended up one of the most lonely, sad human beings I've ever heard of. So it says something about the human condition, certainly.
What I find sometimes in society right now, what's happening is we're really sterilizing all experiences in life. In the internet and social media and all these things are wonderful tools, but it also is sometimes taking away the humanity from us.
You know, because you have this, I think there's this new society kind of forming, you know, within the social media and the images that people create for others online, and they become those images. And they're not very sincere.
Right.
You know what I mean? You like meet people are there. There's like a whole another person there, and you become that guy. You can't help it, but you become that guy. You don't really have anything valuable, honorable, because you do everything for validation.
Right.
So your intention is not real. That's not you. You're not truly expressing yourself.
Yeah.
You're expressing what other people expect from you, what they want.
Yeah.
You know, and I'm falling down into that spectrum as well.
And I think a lot of times we try to look for relationships that buoy us up. Relationships that confirm ideas of what we think we are.
Okay. Yeah.
Right?
Yeah. Absolutely.
And we rely on people to confirm us.
Yeah.
How do you think success affects you?
Success is a very subjective word. I mean, most people, when they think of success, they think about money. Like, how much money did you make? That is absolutely not the right way to think about success.
Because, dude, you're so used to just one way of thinking, and they're feeding you this thing every single day: the fucking career, the job, the fucking education, the fucking bills, the fucking taxes, all this stuff. Just do it. And you become this fucking wrecked. You're just fucking going through this life. You just fucking, you don't know what the fuck. You're just rushing to the job, you know, so you got to take care of your bills, and you don't stop and think, okay, hold on. What's the fucking purpose of this whole thing? What am I fucking doing with my life? Like, is it this 90 years to just fucking do this and then the pension? And you're not truly aware of who you are, where you're going, what's the existence of yours. You know what I'm saying?
Just recently in Newport Beach, I was like bawling my eyes out playing.
What?
Just like, you know, you just go down the web hole of like how every moment matters. And it makes me think about my mom. Every moment with her matters. It makes me think about my friends that have passed away. And those moments matter, because when they're gone forever. So you better just give 100%. Love what you're doing, where you're at. Because after that moment's gone, it's gone.
What about it touches you so much now?
Because I have people in my life that have gone away that I love. And I miss them so much. Every moment you have with people you care about, you better give me your 100% of your time. And there are all the times when I didn't, I feel awful. Life is short because it goes so fast. It goes so fast, and then it's gone, and people go away forever. Yeah, there's no doubt that as I've been doing this longer, you gain more wisdom and into why. Why do you do all this?
What's something you once took for granted that you value now?
Time.
Nice. Good answer. Question number 3. What's the one question you ask yourself the most?
Is this for real?
Nice. And that can work in so many ways. I love that question. That works in so many ways.
Well, I can tell you probably more clearly what I know love isn't.
Let's start there.
Okay.
It's a good place to start.
Yeah, because I'm still, in all honesty, Jay, I'm still trying to figure out what love is.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah, you know, and I think it's a journey. And I think that right now, where I've started is self-love.
If you could create a law that the whole world had to follow, what would it be?
If I could create a law.
A law, yeah, an actual law that everyone had to follow, like a law, yeah.
Yeah. But there was one law, seriously, that if we could...
That you could instate that everyone had to follow, yeah.
You have to love yourself first.
And so what I have realized love is not is romanticism.
Yeah.
When I tell you I've thrown that out the window, I'm like, that ain't it.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
I don't want any parts of it.
Yeah, the false.
All the false, magnified, projected. I need you to be this. I don't want it. True love is not unkind. I know that true love is compassionate. True love is not always easy.
That's for sure.
Right? But it's not cruel. And ego has no place. So that's what I know it's not.
Love that.
I feel as though true love has to go from here to here to there. So it's actually that higher source. It has to come from my connection to my connection through the higher source back. Because this right here, I'll mess it up every time. Believe it. Believe it. I'll mess it up every time.
Yeah. And it's not in like it's like
it's and I think it's a brilliant design.
Yeah.
Of the highest.
Yeah.
You want to love, you better come know me.
Yeah.
You really want to love somebody, you really want to know yourself, really want to love yourself, you better come know me.
Yeah.
You could try this.
Yeah.
You could try acquiring all these things and I'll give you all the riches you want. Oh, you can have all that. See if it buys you love. See if it gives you the love you're looking for.
And it doesn't.
It's a brilliant design.
And it's masterful because it works for anyone and everyone. That's when you know it's a design. Like I love that you.
Yes.
I've never heard it put that way, but you've really, when you describe it as a design, almost like a law.
Yes.
It's like a law.
It's a law.
It's a law.
What's that? Orange, pineapple, and yeah, shit. All good. I ain't allergic to too much nothing, but all good. My beloved family, shalom, shalom. I can be heard. Give me a Yahoo up in the chat. If I can be heard, I think that's your light, Nehemiah. I think I'm looking more Jaffe Kodo than usual, brother. I'm getting a little darker, but I ain't that dark no more, man. But there must be a lighting over there. Nehemiah and his lighting, y'all. Most High bless the house of Nehemiah. If I can be heard, give me a Yahoo up in the chat. If I can be heard, all praise and glory now to the Most High. Nazarene edition part. What part is this, Nehemiah? 33. 33. Them boys still going, huh? 33. The truth will make you free. We about to go into Gospel of the Nazarene, what they call the Gospel of the Holy 12. About to go into that. It lines right up with John, the 8th chapter. And we're just going to chop it up a little taste, with the family. Hectic week for your brother. But not hectic in the sense of a bad thing, but boy, very, very, very I don't like the word busy, but you know, just preoccupied, handling business, momentous. I like that. How you spell that, bud? Moment and test. Yeah, I like that. Momentous. A lot of things going on. So I've been handling business. Praise. What you think about that Facebook blackout, social media blackout early this week? Nehemiah, talk to me.
To me, I mean, it could be a couple of things. It comes right at the same time when you're dealing with a whistleblower.
Oh, right.
You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Not by coincidence. They got to change some things. No problem, Israelite Blood. Glad to have you on the text message and stream and everything, so you know when classes are going up, because sometimes YouTube don't send out notifications.
Yeah, YouTube be hating on it.
So do me a favor and be like, you know, the one brother, how you on this platform, Kevin Samuels, hey, whether it's a thumbs up or a thumbs down, it matters. That's why the notifications don't go out like they used to.
Yeah.
Because of algorithms. That's all what this is about. You like it enough, you share it or whatever, and somebody else click on it. You know what I'm saying? And then that way it starts popping up on people's timelines. But anyway, you dealing with right at the brink of a whistleblower. So it's saying that they are using, you know, techniques of accessing people through their anger. Because when you anger, you make the most irrational moves that you'll ever make. Instead of going to the Lord to get understanding, you'll act out of emotion. And, you know, emotion ain't never let us know we're good on nothing.
Yeah.
Get out your feelings is what we say.
Right.
But so being that stuff is exposed, they got to rewire their system. But to me, it also shows, that's why, you know, a whole lot of people was hitting me up. Hey, you know, Facebook doing that down. I was worried, stressed, freaked out that they couldn't be on social media.
Right.
You know, one Hebrew sent me, they said, Nehemiah, this should be cool for you as much time you spend in Facebook jail. Being on Facebook for a couple hours is walk in the park for you.
Easy work.
But it shows a dependency.
Yeah.
Like YAHKI hit me up about Facebook. He said, man, you know Facebook down? You know, I said, I didn't know that. I think YAHKI was actually the first person.
I didn't even know.
Who hit me up. And then it started coming all that.
Yeah, I look up probably after a few days and see I've been tagged in a whole bunch of situations and all that. But, bro, I didn't even know Facebook and Instagram and all that was that. I had no idea until somebody said something to me. Like, you know, everything went offline today. And I'm like, I'm in motion anyway, handling what I got to handle. Like, so, but it does show a dependency. It shows an addiction.
Yeah.
It shows an unclean addiction or something like that. You feel me? To where it'll straight shut down everything that you have going on. I mean, your entire perception of reality.
It's true.
It's all based off social media, a fabrication, a strip of this, y'all, a straight simulation, or what they call simulacra. Remember that book in the Matrix? Simulacra and simulation. You know, the representation and the image of something, or the imitation of something. You feel me? Like this whole entire what you know is reality. Especially when you're dealing with social media. That invention right there took it to the next level.
You see, the whole thing about social media, television, radio, and other platforms, it shapes your reality. We touched on it last week when we talked about the kingdom of God is within.
That's right.
And I did this with a few people just today. The last person was on my way home with my cousin. And I had her close her eyes, right? And anybody can do this, you know, close your eyes. Mm-hmm. Think about nothing. Clear your mind. Totally clear your mind. I ain't talking about like no super masterful nothing. Just clear your mind of just whatever thoughts you have. Mm-hmm. And then when you open your eyes, take a real hard look at everything around you. And everything around you, from that light, that glass, the thing holding it to the ceiling, the vent, the door, the shapes in the door, the handles, the fringe, the hinges, the bikes, the seats, even my staff. That was a tree. You see what I'm saying? That desk, the wires, that everything in your sight, no matter how big or small it is, is a manifestation of your thought brought into a reality.
Yeah.
So understand, you have God power.
Yeah.
You see what I'm saying? You have the power to create life itself.
Yeah.
That's a God power.
Yeah.
And so when you can sit here and you can think about 75-inch TVs and the components that it'll take for it to work and how to run it with apps, and then you put that idea into a physical reality,
Yeah.
that's a God thing.
All right. So
You see what I'm saying?
Right.
So social media, if they can construct a paradigm where they use violence, anger, and me and Matt was saying off camera, you can sit here and go on news in the morning and see all the black on black crimes, like there ain't no other crimes going on, right? And then everybody gets, a cognitive dissonance from it, you know what I'm saying? Or they just get so hit with it, you know what I'm saying? Even with COVID, the fear of it. You see what I'm saying? That's what that Eddie Griffin we sent out earlier.
Yeah, I seen that.
All that, bro, shapes the reality that we're in. Now, the COVID world is a simulation ran with the proper push in media, social media, workplace, home, church, and even the gym.
Right. Everywhere.
Everywhere. In school, in small talk, at the water pool, when you at your desk, people calling in. Bro, it changes the reality.
All right, so look, let me ask you this then. All right,
So these people are creating.
Hey, so what is imitating what? Is it imitating life, or is life imitating it?
Life is imitating it.
There
The
you go.
AI.
There you go.
You see what I'm saying?
There you go.
And so what I'm saying is, I can see how artificial intelligence come right here and take over.
We've been looking at this thing totally wrong.
We have.
You understand? So again,
The same thing with the Levites and all in the script.
Is Facebook imitating life, or is life imitating Facebook?
Life imitating Facebook.
Absolutely.
And and they know that.
Absolutely. That's why what happened is so powerful, and for somebody like yourself and other people to realize that, and the whistleblowers to come out. The reason that's so profound is because life, as you know it, as you live it, as you view it, as you experience it, is actually imitating Facebook, the construct of someone else's what?
Idea.
Thoughts, mind, ideology, bro. Like, it's crazy. You just,
bro, the way you sit,
the
way you talk. Like we look, let's go back to something we talked about a long time with just us as brothers. Nothing super nasty, y'all. Me and Mally, brothers, we talk. We be brothers. Like, man, how do Israel, our forefathers sleep with all these women and don't know who they be sleeping with? You know what I'm saying? Like, how is the sexual encounter? And I ain't sitting here talking about sex. Like today, we have been taught through media and watching visual cues taught in media to our parents that everybody around here, either they pet kissing or tongue kissing, right, each other, right? And we think that's a normal thing to do. But that couldn't be a normal thing to do, because when you sit here and you look at Jacob and he lay with his first wife and he got the wrong wife, he couldn't have been kissing her in the mouth and pillow talking her. Not the way we think it. You catch what I'm saying? And then he get the right sister. Same thing, with Reuben and his mother. You know what I'm talking about? You get inserted, penetrated, and you ain't tripping off who it is penetrating.
Reuben and Jacob's other wife.
Other wife, yeah. Stepmom, if you want to call you today's term. I like to take the word step out of it. You know what I mean?
Yeah, don't say his mother.
Right. He wasn't doing that.
But you're right, Steve Tillman of YHWH'S, the beast system is here.
Oh yeah,
and life is imitating the beast system. That's what it is.
Revelation's true.
And all of it is a construct. Yeah, all of it is a construct or the figment of somebody wicked's imagination.
Your rap song, the way you dress, men wearing purses and pink and pants sagging, all of them are constructs.
Yeah, man. Serious business.
Adept coaching.
Yeah,
We
life.
pick up a death culture.
Life, as you know it, is experiencing or is influenced by these external forces, these figments of other people's minds. You understand?
Remember that video I sent you
Life is
about
influenced. Go ahead,
about
bro.
the system? This is the system. Oh boy.
Shalom to everybody in the chat. Bless
Shalom,
up.
shalom,
Bless
everybody.
up. Praise and glory now to the Almighty. Yes, right. The kingdom of heaven is within. Feast of Tabernacles, you understand? And the biggest mystery is the kingdom of heaven is within you. You are the tabernacle of the Almighty. You are his dwelling place. You are the New Jerusalem. You are his temple. You are his word. You understand? You are his anointed. Like everything is within. Mashiach said that it don't come by observation. You understand? For the kingdom of heaven is within. All right, so we about to go over some of that today. We're going to deal with John the 8th chapter. We're going to jump into Gospel of the Nazarene, chapter 51 to 52, I believe it is. Both of them, actually. We're going to jump into that. All right, and we're gonna slow roll it. We're going to look at a few things. Any argument, I know it's arguments. I mean, as easy as it was for them to throw people off and people whole life shut down because of social media. I know when it came back up, it was some arguments going on here. Mindful, some of the latest madness you can hear.
Man, people still on their meat, flesh pots. It's gonna probably be to the cancer.
Yeah, you know how that go.
It's really one. Azarel and my sister Kila. Hey, look, that sister go hard, boy, about that truth. Look, Kila, Olam, Casado,
yeah, boy.
House of Troy, boy, she be on her.
Yeah,
Dang.
boy.
I said back, boy, she's a better sword than most brothers.
She hit me up.
And she be talking to most sisters, though. But I mean, the brother be trying to chime in, but she breaks it.
Sis hit me up in the inbox messenger on Facebook like, Shalom, Ak. You've been kind of quiet. Like,
oh, no. Come on off the porch, brother. That's right, Key. Get your brother off the porch.
She's like, you been kind of quiet.
That's all he do is sit back.
What the hell you been doing? I'm like, Keela, ain't been up for 2 days.
That's all he do is
I
sit
ain't
back.
made no bid, Keela, to what, 2-3 days. Keela like, Shalom, Ak. You been kind of quiet. What's going on?
She did right.
I'm like, hey, sis, you know the bomb's gonna commence to drop. Whenever I go quiet, y'all, I'm loading up. That's it. You dig? I'm like, dang, sis told me in a well-reserved manner, like, hey, bro, where you at? I'm like, dang, sis. Look at her, she laughing.
I know it.
Yeah, my sis, boy. I'm like, all right, sis, it's all good. It's all good. All praises. All right, let me show y'all something real quick, though. All right, we going into the Gospel of the Holy 12, aka the Gospel of the Nazarenes. Basically the same book. It's worded a little different in some sections or whatever, but we about to go into this.
You want me to email it to you? You can click on it.
Yeah. You can email it to me. We can play it right after we read this. Shalom, Ak.
Yeah.
You ain't heard from you in a few days. I'm like, yeah, sis, you already know. Bombs about to commence to drop, and I'm putting a few things together. It's all good. You dig? All praise. All right, so we right here. You want to take that? Where the remote at? You want to take it up off there? All right, let's get her done. This right here is the Gospel of the Holy 12, aka Gospel of the Nazarenes. Hence, the title for the class is "The Truth Maketh Free," or "The Truth Will Make You Free." All right. So understand that if you are afraid to stand on truth, to be about truth, and to speak truth, you don't deserve freedom. You don't deserve freedom. Only the truth will make you free. All right. Free on every level. All right. That's like us finding out what we found out and not speaking and not speaking up. You understand? Let's get this done right here. All right. You got that, Nehemiah? NehemiYAH?
Yeah.
Let's get it done. Lection 51, meaning chapter 51 of the Gospel of the Holy 12. Nazarene edition, part 33. This is about the truth making one free. Brothers and sisters, you are free. Free sons and free daughters of the Most High Yah. In every aspect of your life. Breathe the air of a free man. Of a free woman, all right? All right, what we got here, all right? Now watch this, y'all. This is very, very profound. All right, check this out. What it say?
Then said Jesus to those Jews which believed on him, if ye continue in my word, then are ye my disciples. Indeed, ye shall know the truth, and the truth shall make you free.
Understand that. Now,
That's a lot.
Now notice right here, y'all. Notice that he's speaking to believe in Yahudim. Yahusha, Yahushua, the Messiah is speaking to the believing Yahudim, not the non-believers, the believers of his people that believe who? Believe that he's Messiah. Correct? That's who he's speaking to.
Some more going on there.
Yeah. If you continue in my word, or in the Nazarene gospel say, in the way, then are you true disciples, or my disciples indeed. And you shall know the truth, and the truth shall make you free. Trip off that. God, you got something to say. I see it. Go ahead.
Boy.
Go ahead. I see you.
We ain't got to do that with the class over.
The class over.
It's over.
Go ahead.
I'm going to tell you why I say it's over. So look right here, y'all. Let's look at really what's going on. So if you continue in my words, that means at some point you were not walking in the word of Christ.
Mm-hmm.
All this time you've been walking in Torah, all these centuries that you've been moving through as an Israelite since Abraham was called to come out of Mesopotamia, out of the east. You've been walking, thinking everything you walking in is true. Then some man pop up on the scene and tell you, if you continue in my word, not in Moses' word, not in that parchment that you think you really got, not that stuff that you got and is supposed to be Moses' words, which was destroyed, not those things that my father never commanded y'all to do. I'm giving you something that y'all ain't never had before, because now you need to continue in this word.
My word. Yeah.
Let's keep going.
Yeah.
Then ye are my disciples. Everybody who claim they follow Jesus and following the old construct ain't really following Jesus, because Jesus spoke against the old construct. Why is he telling you that?
Why, right?
Why would his right now, if he said I didn't come to change one jot and not one tittle from the law to all be fulfilled, and you think he's talking about the dietary laws and the divorce laws and all the other laws,
everything that they have received as the truth. If you think he's talking about all that,
truth.
Yeah. If you think he's talking about all that, then you sadly mistaken.
You sadly, because listen, he will not tell you you have to continue here. Because the other case, just continue as you've been and
just keep
doing all right.
Just keep doing what you've been doing. Just keep doing what you've been doing.
Keep doing the things, keep doing the moves, keep following it.
Keep doing what you've been doing.
And you don't need me, I'm gone. Watch this next phrase. And ye shall know the truth. That means if you're getting something and that's giving you the truth, that means at some point or in all aspects, you've been living false.
Yeah, you didn't have the truth.
Oh, wait.
You didn't have it.
So sacrificing wasn't the truth?
You didn't have it.
All the new moons and the feasts?
Whatever you thought you had as truth, Messiah came to shake it up. He's a stone of stumbling and a rock of offense.
Oh, and that was foretold, right?
Yeah.
And look, and if you saying this the Moses deal, Moses said, he that's coming after me, him you must follow. Not what I'm giving y'all. That should be another key.
Right.
If it's what I give you supersedes no matter what's coming after me, then why would I tell you what's coming after me, you must follow him?
Right, exactly.
Now we've been reading the Clementine and the Gospel of Pieces, not Pieces of Peace, right? And we're seeing a whole lot of mysteries unfold. Because why did Christ tell you, I will send you the spirit of truth?
Mm-hmm.
That's in the KJV.
I mean, you already had it, didn't you?
You thought you had.
You thought you already had truth.
So something, and everybody's trying to get you back on this same old culture. Is trying to take you back to the depth that we was down the whole damn time. Yeah. And Christ didn't follow it. All you gotta do is ask, what sacrifice did he take? You want to know what Christ did? Do what Christ did. When he told you can have eternal life, he didn't name 613 laws. All right. So what I'm saying is, it's so much here.
In that first verse.
If you continue my word, that means his words are separate from the words you've been hearing.
Yeah, yeah.
Because if you're hearing those words and you're trying to live off those words, you're not Christ's disciples. You're the Levites' disciples. Mm. You are the Sadducees, Pharisees, and all those sects that run and officiate the temple. Mm. You're their disciples. Mm. And that ain't been the truth. Why you think Christ ripped the curtain and destroyed the temple and the Ark of the Covenant was here? I'm just saying, man. And then when the Most High lays something down, it's done.
Yeah.
That temple ain't been back up since. But your enemy, the imposter who wants to resurrect a temple, what they want to bring back?
Sacrifices.
Which was always to their what?
The red heifer.
To their God. Mm-hmm. And you're going to believe it's a righteous act to your haywire. Mm-hmm. All while your KJV is telling you it's not. 40 years.
You grieve me in the wilderness.
David said you erred for them 40 years.
Surely we're doing Passovers and new moons.
Bro.
He said 40 long years. Was I agree? Was I agree with his people? That means you ain't get it right the whole time you was in the wilderness.
You did not do it right.
You know what I mean? That's crazy, man. So I mean, yeah. So you're right, bro. There's a lot of fruit. I don't like to say meat. There's a lot of fruit. There's a lot of fruit flesh.
Fruit flesh.
There's a lot of fruit flesh in that first verse, man.
And he says, so what you've been ain't been the truth. Yeah. Because he's telling you, and you shall know the truth. Yeah. And this is what sets you free. You ain't bound by these Negroes in these camps that try to lord over you and tell you to take vaccines. You know what I'm talking about? If you don't do it this way, you got to get out. Or if you follow them, you ain't going to never get no inheritance from me and all that. Like, bro. That's lording over bros, man. You free. Yeah. This frees you, bro.
Absolutely. Absolutely. All right.
He who was in Christ is free what? Indeed.
Let's get this verse 2. Verse 2, what they say?
They answer him. We be Abraham's seed and were never in bondage to any man.
Right. Who this is talking. It's a whole nother topic, but the fact being, they're claiming they never were in bondage. And they're claiming Abraham's seed, right?
We did a class on this.
No doubt. No doubt. Now watch this. Go ahead.
Ye shall be made.
How sayest thou?
Oh, how sayest thou? Ye shall be made free. Jesus answered them, verily, verily, I say unto you, whosoever committed sin is the servant of sin. Mm-hmm. And the servant abideth not in the house forever.
Come on.
For the son, even the daughter, abideth forever.
That's right. So, you see in the scripture when it say, speaking to the children of Israel, it say, B'nai Yisrael, or Ban Yah, Yasha Allah, however you quoting it, right?
Children.
Now they'll say, because Ban or Ben is son. So, I've heard men say this, he only speaking to the men or the sons. But this right here is clarifying it. You understand? Sons and daughters. Because children, most of us have children. We got sons and daughters. You understand? Most High has sons and daughters. All right. So this applies to the men and the women.
He created, he's them.
All right. If you commit sin, you the slave of it. And you won't be abiding in this house. All right. Only his sons and daughters live with him forever. Makes sense? All right, now watch this. Go ahead, Op.
If the Son therefore shall make you free,
come on,
ye shall be free indeed.
Come on.
I know that ye are Abraham's seed after the flesh. Ye seek to kill me, because my word have no place in you.
Now, but hold on.
That's what's going on right now with this whole teaching.
Hold on. Verse 1 said, then said Yahushua to those Yahudim which believed on him. Verse 3, I know that you are Abraham's seed after the flesh, but you seek to kill me because my word have no place in you. Hold on. These were believing Yahudim, right? That believed in him. So you mean to tell me you can believe in him and still be his enemy?
But look, don't act like what we're saying is untrue. Because he said many in that day going to be saying what?
Lord, master, I'm a professor. I never knew you. But now trip off this. We read this, right? Then trip off today. Trip off how many brews openly profess that they are what we call messianic. You follow the Messiah.
Messianic.
Huh? You follow the Mashiach.
Go to Ak.
Choking on your cats and all that. Mashiach. Huh? Choking on your cats. Hold on. What we read right here is clearly saying, verse 1, he said to the believing Yahudim who believed on him. Verse 3, he's talking to the same people who are claiming they believe in him. But you seek to kill me because my word have no place in you. You mean you can be claiming you believe in Mashiach, choke on your cats, and still his word not be in you?
That's a big con for me.
Wow.
And listen, because go even not so much deeper, just what we already know, right?
Mm.
If you hate your brother, you already a murderer.
Mm.
So all them Hebrews out there talking crap and this, that, bite back, naysaying, you know what I'm saying? All that stuff like that. Not being a man or a brother is, hey, like the scriptures say, go holler at that brother one-on-one, that you might gain your brother. But instead, you in secret meetings and secret groups all over social media platforms, talking bad about a brother, talking about they done lost a life. I see him, I beat him up. You know what I'm saying? I smoke him. Why? Because you said stop eating meat because the Messiah don't eat meat? I told you, bro. These same Jews are alive today.
I know.
These same Israelites are alive today. The ones that sought to kill the Messiah.
I know you Abraham's seed after the flesh, but you seek to kill me. But you seek to kill me because my word have no place in you. So that's the thing right there. The thing is this: you could be a professed believer in Messiah.
With your mouth.
Yeah, you can be a professed believer with your mouth in Mashiach, right? Still be his enemy and his word still not have a place in you.
Because he tries to bring the heart. And even the sort
Wow.
of seed story, bro, is how the seed land on stony ground.
Absolutely. Absolutely. But look, walk with me through this because look, it get deeper. See, all this is a witness to the John the 8th chapter, right? Now, John the 8th chapter, we never put it together. Hold on. He's talking to straight those who claim they believe. Right? Even though up in verse 31 through 33 in John the 8th chapter, then he said to the believing Jews, if you continue in my words, you are my disciples, you should know the truth. It's just when we get down to verse 44, we never realized that he was talking the whole time to
the same group.
Same group. Watch this. Verse 4. What does it say?
I speak that which I have seen with my parents. And ye do that which ye have seen with your parents.
Or your father. Go ahead.
They answered and said unto him, Abraham is our father. Jesus or Yahushua said unto them, if ye were Abraham's children,
right,
ye would do the works of Abraham.
Wow. So right back, remember, these are the religious authorities in what we call Jerusalem in his day. Again, believers. Hold on. These, and according to verse 1, are those who believe on him. They are seeking to kill him, but they believe on him, right? They seeking to kill him, they believe on him. These same people who claim they believe on him, his word ain't in them, right? And he just told them hey, if you're claiming Israel, if you're claiming to be Abraham's children, you would do the works of Abraham, right? So these same people, his own people, or those who claim to be his people, for one, they say, I believe in him. So they can't deny who he is, right? These same people that believe on him are seeking to kill him. We just read that, right? His word ain't got no place in him, right? And they don't do the works of Abraham, but claim they believe on him. All right, so make it apply today so it can make sense. What good is it we looking back 2,000 years and we can't look at the things today and say, that make all the sense in the world? I can read that and apply that to my reality, what I go through right now. If you can't do that, then you just reading anything. You should be able to take the morality and the righteous principles out of it and say, you know what? You understand? I can apply that to my life to affect change around me and mine. All right? So make that make sense today then. How that make sense today? Because many profess to believe in it, that are Abraham's seed, right? They were seeking to kill him. How many people get murderous thoughts because they don't agree with the next brother or sister, right? They believe, but what? His word ain't in them. Meaning, but he said his sheep here is what? So, all right, well, that means they're not part of his pasture or his sheep. But guess what? They claim they believe.
And sheep were herbivores.
Oh, man. Oh, here we and you're going to look up and whistle, right? And they do not do the works of Abraham. Wow.
Abraham hearkened unto the voice of Moses.
That's right. All right, now.
Hearken unto Christ. Bro, it's evident, bro.
You can see that. My whole point is you can see that today. But as we keep reading, you're going to see how even deeper this gets. It gets deeper. All right? Go ahead, Ak, let's get it.
But now you seek to kill me, a man that have told you the truth. That means he's telling you the truth. Somewhere you must have been following a lie.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
And in that time, this is what revelation I had, weeks ago, is that you were in your land, in your garments, speaking your language, with your temple.
So they went in slick bottoms and zoot suits.
They went in the regal room.
Smelling like Old Spice. They wasn't chewing on hog meat. All right, so he's talking to those who are conscious culture. In the conscious culture. They in the culture. More than we live the culture. And still were called devils.
Children of.
Wow.
To the fact what Christ always keeps saying, Bible, to what we are here, is that I will have to send you the spirit of truth, or I have told you the truth. If you abide with me, the truth will set you free.
Right.
Somewhere in all this reality that they manifested based on what they believe is in that Torah has been a lie the whole time. And it's not a question of why prophets were saying a lie pen of the scribes. Christ arguing one of the main enemies that people tend to leave out is the scribes. And he ain't talking about the New Testament scribes because the New Testament ain't even written.
It wasn't even
or manifested.
Right, it wasn't even around when he was around.
It was becoming a reality. Yeah. It wasn't in reality. So he would have to be talking about everything from Malaki on back. Or the Apocrypha on back. Or whatever scrolls they had that we had, Nathan, Idol the Seer, Jasher. He's talking about everything that's been written up to this point on back. Because in reality, Israel about to come to reality. We've been through a couple of captivities in Israel, and the temple got ramshacked, and your knowledge gets taken. Who goes to conquer? He take the knowledge. Because your enemy always likes to learn who he conquered.
Absolutely, you got to study.
You got to.
Otherwise, a Popeye chickens and a liquor store on every corner.
In this hood.
Biscuits and chicken. And we said, what, in this hood? Now watch this. So, again, what you said is very profound, brother, because what you say. But now you seek to kill me, a man that told you the truth. Meaning, at some point, you didn't have either the whole truth, you understand, or even partial truth. You didn't have it. All right, what else to say?
Which I have heard of God, or Yah.
Wow, which I have heard. He heard his voice, which I have heard of my father. Yeah, right? Go ahead.
This did not Abraham.
Because Abraham didn't read nothing. He heard the voice of the Most High and made his
no
move.
fringes.
Right? Right. Go ahead. What else to say?
Ye do the deeds of your father.
Mm-hmm.
Then said they to him, we be not fornication.
Born.
We not born of fornication. We have one Father, even God.
Mm-hmm.
YHWH said unto them, if God or Yah were your parent, ye would love me.
Mm.
For I proceed forth and came from Yah. Neither came I of myself, but the All-Holy sent me. Why do ye not understand my speech? Even because ye cannot hear my word. And that's very prevalent today. You should keep it like that, just let it alone. The reading parts. Yeah, right. Verse 7. Ye are of your father, the devil.
Oh, man. Now, hold on. Remember, he's talking to those that believe in him. What the verse 1 said? Verse 1 said, then said Messiah to those Jews which believed on him, if you continue in my word, then are ye my disciples indeed. Y'all, he's talking to those that believe in him. And he just turned around and said, ye are of your father. Ye are of your father, the devil. Yes, people can profess that they believe in the Mashiach all day long. According to what he's saying, he's calling those that believe on him, who has not found place for his word, who's seeking to kill him, who don't do the works of Abraham. You understand? He's straight saying flat out that ye are your father, the devil. So you might want to watch how you treat the next brother and sister. You know what I mean? That's right. You got to watch how you treat the next brother and sister. You understand? Because we could be claiming or thinking the whole time we follow Messiah and we believe in him. And look, they were more in contact with the culture than we are today. They knew they lived it. You understand? They wasn't in those Sunday churches and had no 4th of July smoke up their nostrils. They didn't have none of that. Father's Day, Mother's Day. They was more baptized in the culture than we are. All right. Well, they was closer to their roots. You know, they family tree and all that, right? They claimed they believed in him. They saw him. And they still were called children of Satan. Not everybody back then, but who he addressing. These are men that claim they believe in him. And they were still called children of the devil.
So, okay, with the Nazarene thing, with the Nazarene, so was YHWH, was he Nazarene? Was he a Nazarene?
Yeah.
So YHWH was a Nazarene.
Absolutely.
So why is this such a battle? You get what I'm saying? Like, if he's a Nazarene, so he lived the Nazarene way, he walked the Nazarene way, because we know that he did. I've known and seen in the Bible that he has never sacrificed anything, like bloodshed, sacrifice, or anything like that. So why is it so hard for people to understand, or I'm just asking, like, why they don't, if he's a Nazarene and he followed the Nazarene way, why don't they see that? Why don't they know? Do they know that?
Well, yeah, for one.
Because they don't hear his voice, because they cannot hear his voice. They cannot hear his word. He's telling you why. So because you profess you believe in me.
Yeah, for one.
But you can't hear me. You don't hear me. It's like, look, we go here and explain who Christ is and who Israel is. They walk around and next Sunday be in church.
Yeah, I get that.
We spitting out the same thing we just told them with over scripture. Show that you have to keep the law. You are the people. This nigga right in the church and say I'm a Gentile, past the ham and eggs.
Yeah, it's like for one, he's identified as a Nazarene in Matthew the 2nd chapter, Matthew chapter 2, verse 23. And in Hebrew is the word Natsar. So it's saying the prophets, he shall be called a Nazarene. You go back to Isaiah 11:1, the branch from Jesse, Natsar. So yeah, it was prophesied. So yes, this is actually in the KJV Bible. He shall be called a Nazarene. Absolutely. Right. So what happens? See, what a lot of people don't see is the hijacking of his movement. And it happened real subtly, but it's right in the scripture. Like it's just a lot of people can't see it because of different overtones and undertones that's going on. All right, his movement was hijacked. All right, and a lot of his followers were, silenced and murdered, while a certain other movement gained steam. And by the time the fourth beast, which is Rome, decided to choose a worldwide religion or empire-wide religion, they chose one that could benefit the agenda that they were about, all while having Christ or Messiah on their mouth. You feel me? So his movement was hijacked, and if where you focus at, if you can focus on the Jerusalem Council in Acts 15 is one of them, Acts the 21st chapter. There's other spots too, but if you can focus right there and trip off every detail and trip off who in charge at the time, trip off the overseas directives or the orders that was given to certain men, and then ask yourself, did those men teach those orders or directives to the letter? Or did they start doing their own thing? You see what I'm saying? There were ordained apostles that the Most High had set up through the Holy Spirit. You understand? So by the time you got the Jerusalem Council in Acts the 15th chapter, certain men got to come up and check in with the leadership that the Messiah had already set up to safeguard his teachings. Right now, all of them were given Gentile protocols. Now they just didn't teach to Israel only. It's Israel and any Israelite that was a Gentile in mindset or regular Gentile, whatever it may be. Whoever wanted to follow the Messiah had to follow the same measure of discipline, right? The same rule of thumb. You feel me? Now they already had that going on, and a directive was given, meaning an order was given by the head apostle in charge to certain men, like, look, if you out there teaching this, teach it like this. This is what you teach them. They were given letters of recommendation. We back these men. These men want to go forth. Now, all you got to do is ask yourself. Those same two cats got into it, fell out, and then one of them kept going on and start sending shots back at the leadership in Jerusalem and didn't teach what he was commanded to teach. All right. By the 4th century, you're dealing with 300 years later. By the 4th century, the Roman emperors at the time and all the so-called bishops and clergymen of this whole Roman religion or whatever had votes, had councils, and when the dust settled, they decided to go with the letters of this man who didn't follow the orders all the way. Thus, by doing that, they covering up, or they're covering up and going with the hijacked form of his movement. You see what I'm saying? What?
You said the word. Am I saying it right? The
Clergy.
clergy. Clergy.
Yeah, like the priest and all that of certain religions and all that, the clergy and all them. The Catholic clergy would be the men who wear like the white collars inside that. But before it was a Roman Catholic religion called Roman Catholicism or Christianity, it was the pagan religion of Mithras. You know what I mean? And they started converting Roman cathedrals into what you call the Vatican Church today. And then all the so-called gods of Rome, Mars, Venus, Pluto, and all them became all the different saints. You see what I'm saying? So that right there is a hijacked movement. They hijacked the Messiah's movement and conformed it to the agenda of Rome. You know what I mean? So Acts 15 is a good one because the Nazarene leadership was already established. You know what I mean? Up under who the Messiah himself ordained. Like he ordained these men. You understand? And directives was given by these men to teach it like this. You understand? And what you'll see if you read that and then you start reading certain things that Paul was saying, you'll see it. I had a sister call me this week and say, brother, I'm sorry, I see it. dang, I didn't know it was that deep. I was like, yeah, me either. You know what I mean?
I got another question. So what do Melchizedek, when they say, you know how the name be Melchizedek, this and Melchizedek. So what do Melchizedek, what do that mean?
Melchizedek is Hebrew. It's two Hebrew words. Malak or Malek meaning king, and Zedek or Zadok meaning righteous. So it means my king of righteousness. All right. So when you put Melchizedek or Malak Tazadok, however anybody say it, it just simply means my king of righteousness. That's the eternal priesthood. All right. Now this same Melchizedek, there was a Melchizedek in Abraham's time. That Abraham had went and got back his nephew and them, who was kidnapped. This same priest, he was a priest. He was the king of Jerusalem, and he was a priest of the Most High. He brought out lamb chops and oxtails and ate with Abraham. No, he brought out bread and wine. See what I'm saying? He broke bread with Abraham and brought the wine out and said, "Blessed be the God of Abraham, who has delivered your enemies into your hands." You see what I'm saying? So there's a Melchizedek in Genesis the 14th chapter, who was the king of Jerusalem and a priest of the Most High God, who broke bread with Abraham, brought out bread, brought out wine. The same symbolism you see at the Messiah's last meal with his disciples, bread and wine.
Like, I don't understand, like, why people be thinking like it's food. Like you said, why do they think it's food? Like, why do they think when they're like, I'll break bread, like we might have ate fish, or we might have ate this, or we might have ate that. Like, why do they think it's that?
Yeah, that's not
what it means. It actually means bread and wine.
Yeah.
Not like, oh, I'm about to feed you a full course meal of so and so and so.
Yeah, no, breaking bread is what it is. That's what, brothers did back then. It's the bread, and all of it's symbolic, the bread and the wine and all that. You understand? But it's a spiritual baptism for real, for the most part. You know what I mean? But yes, Messiah was a Nazarene. He was not just an Israelite. Yeah, he was an Israelite. But so were a lot of the different factions in Israel. You understand? Yeah, he's from the tribe of Judah, but so was a lot of the different men in Israel. You understand? Yeah, but specifically speaking, what group did he belong to? He is a Nazarene. Absolutely. So we got to take it a step further. We used to be like, Christ was Israelite, I'm an Israelite. Yeah, well, many Israelites. There were righteous Israelites and wicked. Tribe of Judah. Yeah, many people in the tribe of Judah. Righteous Judites and wicked Judites. Right? Specifically speaking, he was a Nazarene, though. You know what I mean? And that's in Matthew, the 2nd chapter, 23rd verse. Absolutely. You understand? And no matter, I'm going to say this too, no matter where any of us fall short at within our walk, that still don't mean this ain't the way we supposed to be going. You understand? I mean, as long as we living, we got something to learn.
Right.
I mean, you got people that be like, well, your seat, your bike seat made of leather. And all that. Regardless of where you feel somebody falls short at. You understand? This mainly is about us polluting this temple and not guarding this creation. You see what I'm saying? Yeah, we all live in compromising situations. That don't mean you ain't supposed to be striving to be the most perfect daughter or son of the Most High you can be. You know what I mean? I hope that makes sense.
Yeah.
Absolutely. All right, come on, Knock. Let's do this. Where we at?
Ye are of your father the devil, and the lust of your father ye will do. He was a murderer from the beginning, and abode not in truth.
What you hired Iman for? What she did?
Did I hide her?
Yeah, you hidden by NehemiYAH.
Oh, I hide her. That was an accident.
I don't know how to unhide them shit. Unhide you was on this channel. There you
go. Ooh, tell her my bad. Oops.
I just hit unhide. Yeah, she was unhidden. She good now.
Okay, she posted.
Yeah.
Iman, do a sample post. I totally apologize.
Yeah, I unhid it though.
Yeah, I see it says.
All right, go ahead. What we got here? Watch this. Yeah.
Verse 8. When he speak a lie, he speaketh of his own. Not God made him. speaking of his own. He is a liar. And the father or the originator patriarch of it.
Mm-hmm.
Because I tell you the truth.
Yeah.
You believe me not.
So he put the onus of wickedness on Satan. He didn't
father.
put it on his father. Because, all right, so now we got conflict within the scriptures.
We call them all hope.
Because, yeah.
All seven.
So we got conflict in the scriptures. Because you got certain scriptures that say the Most High forms the light and the darkness and does good and evil. Should there be evil in the city and the Most High ain't done it? Or when it comes down to evil and wickedness that is done in this earth, it is not by the command of the Almighty. If that's the case, everything that's wicked that happened, you got to say God did that.
Free pass.
All right, now we ain't saying judgment like, okay, the Most High gonna bring judgment. His judgments are righteous. You know what I mean? When the wicked get cut down, that's not an evil thing. We talking about evil. There are men who are saying that the Most High creates evil and does evil. You know what I mean? Meaning wickedness, right? The Messiah himself, we roll with his understanding of that. You'll never find him or his disciples saying that the Most High God creates evil and does evil. But you'll have men that read the Torah themselves that say, Proverbs say this right here. You know, Amos say this. And, you know, but just deep down inside, I don't feel comfortable calling my God evil or creating evil. Like, it don't feel right to me. You see what I'm saying? I know what's written. We're not arguing with you about what's written. We know what's written in there. You understand? We saying when it comes down to the evil and the originator of evil and the creator of evil, we gonna roll with the Messiah. He said that the devil, you are of your father the devil, and the lust of your father you gonna do. He was a murderer from the beginning. Right. Murder is sin, right? And evil, and abode not in the truth. He didn't remain in the truth because there is no truth in him. When he speak of a lie, another sin. Right? He speaketh of his own. He ain't speaking of the Father when he lied. He speaketh of his own. For he is a liar and the father of it. Because I tell you the truth, you believe me not. So the Messiah put evil on Satan, the devil. He didn't put that on his father. All right. So when we saying that, and when we say and when we believe that the Most High creates evil and does evil, we're blaming him at that point. That's not him. He's blameless. Right. He's blameless. You can't blame him for nothing evil that's going on. Evil is the byproduct of free will.
And that's what people do when they go into sin. Mm-hmm. Whatever they may do, they do it because they are of their father. Mm-hmm. So, you know, say like you go out here and you commit murder. You get what I'm saying? Like you can't say, oh, you know, the Most High made that or whatever. Right. You're the father of the devil. Right. Because you did your own thought. You see what I'm saying? Like you moved in your own action. You get what I'm saying? So I get it.
Yeah. You
speak on your own, like it says, like you speak of his own.
He's speaking of his own. He ain't speaking of my father. He's speaking of his own when he lied. You get what I'm saying? Right. So the Most High is blameless, right? Now watch this, Nehemiah, verse 9.
As Moses lifted up the serpent in the wilderness, so must the son and daughter of man be lifted up. Yeah. That whosoever gazes, believing, should not perish, but have everlasting life.
Absolutely. Go ahead.
Which of you convinceth me of sin? Mm-hmm. And if I say the truth, why do ye not believe me?
Come on.
He that is of Yah, heareth Yah's word.
Here is his words. Go ahead.
Ye therefore hear them not, because ye are not of Yah.
Y'all don't forget he talking to those that say they believe in him. Wow. You would think he talking to those that don't believe in him. You see what I'm saying? Or at least with their mouth. They're saying with their mouth they believe in him. And the whole time he letting it be known.
He didn't try to raise
already. That's not, you don't believe in me. Because if you believe in me, you would love me. You know, and that's a message for all the brothers and sisters out there. You know, all the men foaming at the mouth and these later. Look, if you was of the Most High, you would still love your brothers and sisters who just saw things differently. Then you wouldn't be foaming at the mouth and doing all type of evil and having evil thoughts toward the brothers or the sisters. That's just what it is. All right, go ahead. Where we at?
You have it. Then answered the Jews and said unto him, say we not that thou art a Samaritan and hath a demon.
See, there it is again. They calling him a devil. He called them, you are your father the devil. They called him a devil back. All right. Now they're responding to what he's saying, all while claiming they believe in him. And I don't know how you believe in him and calling him a devil. You see, when that word come out, it is a discerner of the thoughts and intents of your heart. You look up, and then somebody real intent, what somebody really been thinking about, you start coming out. You see what I'm saying? All right, watch. Go ahead.
Jesus answered, I have not a demon, but I honor the all-holy, and ye do dishonor me. I seek not my own glory, but the glory of Yah. But there is one who judges, and certain of the elders and who?
Scribes.
From where?
The temple.
Came unto him saying, why do thy disciples teach men that it is unlawful to eat flesh of beasts?
You gonna break your phone. You almost dropped in that apple juice, boy. Hey, so let's go a little deeper into that conversation, because this is the very same question we all been getting asked. You going against the Torah? It would be hearing you going against the Torah. Y'all anti-Torah now.
You have a demon on you.
Yeah. You done lost the light, right? That's how you know this is true. And y'all, look, I just flipped this open yesterday. I just happened to, let me read something. I opened up the book and it fell on this chapter. And I started reading. I'm like, we got to bring this out. This got to come out. So here they come, because this is proof that the Messiah and his disciples taught against chewing on the dead flesh of animals, even though you have laws written that you can chew on it, correct? He taught differently than in other words, what he brought to the people is truth. At times, it went against what the people already had perceived as the truth that was already written down. Because him and his disciples are teaching that it is unlawful to eat the flesh of beasts. All right. What did it say, Nehemiah?
Though they be offered in sacrifice as by Moses ordained.
Because this is exactly what we've been hearing. This is the exact conversation that's been happening with the brothers and the sisters in honor and humility. This is the very same conversation. How y'all gonna teach that eating flesh is sinful? Hold on, we got Leviticus 11 and Deuteronomy 14.
Somebody got some meat in their mouth watching right now.
Wow.
Somebody got some meat in their mouth.
Somebody choking on their flesh, boy. All right, so brothers and sisters, make sure y'all highlight this and, go back and go over these things, because this is the same conversation that is had by us or had by those who claim they coming against us in this hour. Yeah, they cool and all that, but they teach that it's unlawful to eat the flesh of beasts.
Ordained by Moses. So again,
this is the very same conversation. This is why it was so profound to me when I just happened to flip it open. All right. What did it say, Hebrew?
For it is written, Yah said to Noah, the fear and the dread of you shall be upon every beast of the field, every bird of the air, and every fish of the sea. Into your hand they are delivered.
That's Genesis the 9th chapter. Trip out this. That's one of the first spots that men go to try to come against them. What the Most High tell Noah? Then he tell Noah that he can eat of every creeping thing that. Wow, Genesis 9, 3, and 4. The reason this was so profound to me is because, y'all, these are the same exact arguments the men that's against us say. You can't make this up. They saying the exact same thing. So, y'all, how did the Messiah respond? Watch this. Watch this. Nehemiah, you about to get out. Watch Nehemiah get out. Watch this. Watch this. Look, he already said class over.
At verse 1.
At verse 1. Watch this. Watch how the Messiah responds. Because brothers and sisters, y'all gonna have to respond the same way. Why y'all teach it's unlawful to eat flesh that's written in the law of Moses? Hold on, didn't the Most High tell Noah that he can eat flesh? That's what we just read, right? Verse 14. How the Messiah respond? Go ahead.
And Yahushua said unto them, ye hypocrites. Well did Esaias or Isaiah speak of you and your forefathers, saying, this people draw nigh unto me with their mouths and honor me with their lips, but their heart is far from me. For in vain do they worship me, teaching and believing and teaching for divine doctrines, the commandments of men in my name, but to satisfy their own lust.
Wow. Wow. That's just to satisfy your own lust when you try to run to Leviticus 11 and Deuteronomy 14 to continue to chew on dead animal flesh. And you want to run to Genesis 9 and all that. Hold on. It get deeper. But he's saying that's just to satisfy your own lust. Y'all hypocrites. You dig? As if I'm telling you something wrong by telling you to stop chewing on flesh. As if I'm telling you to sin by telling you to stop chewing on dead animal flesh. It's killing our people. Majority of Israel is sick. Well, the Messiah, but look, y'all, the blowback that you brothers and sisters are catching, you should feel good about it. You should, because Mashiach and them, they came with him the same way. Yo, why do you and your disciples teach it's unlawful to chew on flesh? It's in the law of Moses. Hold on, what Noah told that he can chew on flesh? He responded and say, y'all hypocrites. Only reason you even dare to even go to them verses because you want to satisfy your own flesh, your own lust. You lust to chew on dead animal flesh because it's blood in your mouth. That's the only reason you go into them scriptures, because it's an unbridled lust. It ain't because of righteousness you go to, hold on, Most High. Here come a brother telling you, look, we a healing ministry. We know what's killing our people. You understand? We got healing testimonials, all praises to the Almighty. Not because of us, but all praise to the Almighty. Healing testimonials. All praises. So we know exactly what's killing our people. Right? The only reason anybody will fight against what we're saying is to satisfy their own lusts. And you teaching and believing and teaching for divine doctrines, the commandments of who? Men.
Who was those men?
Wow.
Those Levites.
Oh,
they gave you that in the wilderness.
What? Okay, so who was Jeremiah? What was Jeremiah?
The Levite.
Verse 15. What verse 15 say, brother?
And also, Jeremiah bare witness when he said concerning blood offerings and sacrifices, I, Yahweh thy Elohim, commanded none of these things.
Jeremiah 7, verse 21 through 22.
So maybe you didn't make that up.
No, I didn't make that up. He's quoting Jeremiah.
I thought this was a Malaki and YAHKI doctrine.
No.
Man, you know you wrote. Give me that book, bro.
Yah forbid.
Give me that book, bro. I know your name in the beginning of that book.
Yah forbid, brother.
Malachi name's in the beginning of the book of 12.
Yah forbid, brother.
Hold on, man. Right here, bro.
Yah forbid.
Right, bro. Here it is, bro.
He quoting Jeremiah. That's in all your Bibles.
I don't see Malachi name.
He quoting Jeremiah 7, verse 21 and 22.
Bro, you wrote that in that book.
And bro. Jeremiah was a Levite, correct? Jeremiah was a Levite. As also Jeremiah bear witness when he saith concerning blood offerings and sacrifices, I, the Most High Power, commanded none of these things in the day that you came out of Egypt. But only this I commanded you to do: righteousness, walk in the ancient paths, do justice, love mercy, and walk humbly with your power. Nehemiah, I need you to read verse 16 for me, brother.
But ye did not hearken to me, who in the beginning gave you all manner of seed and fruit of the trees, and seed having been for the food and healing of man and beast. And they said, thou speakest against the law.
You speaking against the Torah.
But that's in the Torah.
We've been but about this. This was so profound because everybody that speak against what we saying say the same thing.
So this book is a lie.
It has to
now
be.
It's a lie. Now we just had that manifestation of reality.
Yes.
Right?
Yes.
That thing that people think now comes manifest.
Yeah.
So now this book that we read has now been officially prophetic.
Absolutely.
You just saw prophecy.
Absolutely. Because they're saying it word for word against us.
So now this is prophecy.
The very thing, exactly. The very thing that the ones that are against him in this chapter are saying, they saying directly. They don't none of them read this.
No, they don't follow.
That's the crazy part. They don't even read this. So it gotta be a spiritual thing. Because word for word, these are your very same arguments. I said, oh yeah, we gotta read this.
And then people say that Christ was there in the beginning, which we won't argue. So Christ was there when Genesis 1:29 was being handed down. And then Christ gave you revelation by an angel giving it to his servant John to reveal those things which are shortly to come. He told you, I am Alpha and what?
Omega.
I'm the beginning and the what? Before me there was what?
None.
And after me?
There's none to come.
So, first diet, Alpha diet, that's what we read.
Yeah.
Omega diet.
For healing.
And that's in the very last chapter. You see this, you see where I'm at with it?
Absolutely.
Very first chapter, very first verse. I mean, very first chapter. First book, first chapter. That's what I mean. First book, first chapter. Alpha. Last book,
last chapter.
Last chapter.
Omega.
Same diet. Omega.
Yeah.
And it has for healing.
For healing.
And let's not act like this ain't true and this ain't prophetic. As soon as your cat or dog is sick, you open that door, he run this butt right outside to eat some grass.
Yeah. Yeah.
He trying to, you done fed him all that death. And wonder why dogs got, bro, I used to pick a woman up. Remember I told you about that? In Illinois and drive an hour away to take her dog to get chemo.
Dang.
She loved that dog.
To get chemo, huh?
You hear me? Dog had cancer. And we know all this stuff is what? Food-based. What they feeding them dogs?
Yeah.
All that meat and all that. Listen, the sin that we did affects the whole earth. And now we feeding that death to them. And we tell them we love the little dogs. And I tell y'all, man, it's going to hurt y'all feelings. Y'all going to hate Nehemiah for this, but it ain't the first. It won't be the last. Y'all going to be the reason why you and your children eternally burn.
Good night, boy.
You are the reason why your children will burn in the lake with the snake.
Bro, not sure about this, y'all. They charge him
every time you put meat to them kids.
Look, watch this. They charge him with being anti-Torah. You speak against the Torah. Right. But look, let's trip off what's being said about the brothers and sisters that decide to follow what we own now, right? Y'all anti-Torah.
Just ask the room.
Now look, hold on. Read before you do that. Read 17. Look at 17. Watch this.
And he said,
this is how he responds to those who claim he anti-Torah. What did he say?
And he said against Moses, indeed, I do not speak against, nor against the law.
I do not speak nor against the Torah, but against who?
The law.
Read
it again. And he said against Moses, indeed, I do not speak nor against the law.
The Torah, go ahead.
But against them who corrupted the law.
Who corrupted
his law.
Who corrupted his Torah. I don't speak against the Torah. I speak against them who corrupted his Torah.
Which he permitted for the hardness
hardness of your heart. I say good night.
That's
boy.
what I always take people to read right there in Matthew 19.
Now, when I say he finna get hurt,
right here,
I told you.
He said he allowed y'all to do that because of the hardness of your heart. He suffered you to put your wives away.
Yeah.
But from the beginning, it was not so.
Yeah. For the hardness of your hearts, right?
So that's why he did a lot of stuff in the Bible.
Including.
And put it under the banner, and the Lord God said.
Look, and including right here, we ain't even talk about divorce. What we talking about?
Talking about meat.
Talking about flesh eating. We talking about flesh.
And we know it not because we've been reading this and seeing that. Listen, they were sacrificing to their gods, which Isaiah proved, and Jeremiah proved, and the other prophets proved, Amos proved, right? All these prophets prove that you were sacrificing to other gods, right? And all that time you were following the laws of men. Because why? They saw a way to secure the bag for a lifetime. Came out of Egypt, sacrificing to a golden calf. That was something you didn't come up while you was in the wilderness. That's something you learned and practiced while you was in Egypt for 430 years. Don't act like you ain't gonna learn and partake in the culture of your enemy. Why? Because you do it here.
Exactly.
It's prophetic. Every Negro who's coming into this truth, they kept Christmas, Halloween, Thanksgiving, New Year's, Valentine's Day, St. Patty's Day, all those days. So act like this happened at 4. You do it on 4:30. You owe 30 years to the game. And somebody who else ever comes with Brew, he said, man, I kind of see this as our wilderness. We came to that 400. Now we're dealing with the 40 years. Where we at right here, where we getting this knowledge? Where you was given misinformation in the wilderness by men, you got men that's now risen up under the banner that we should be under, Christ, because we heard his words giving you the thing that Moses told you, him you must hearken. So now you got these 40 years where we at, I ain't making no prophecy. I'm just a conversation. I'm telling you how I was having with a brother. You in the 40 years again. You back in the wilderness. Your 400 years here have came, and now you in your wilderness 40 years, and all these new revelations are coming to give you the proper teaching of the Torah that was corrupted and permitted because of the hardnesses of your hearts.
Good.
So now you're getting what you should have got correctly in your 40 years. Because we know they wasn't done right. David talked about it. Who had a heart like God. Ain't that amazing? Isaiah, who Christ wrote, open, and read himself. So we got to be like, okay. Jeremiah, who was in charge of removing and hiding the ark. He couldn't be no BS Hebrew brother because God wouldn't have gave him. That's a very important, serious mission to get the ark out of Israel before the fall.
Most holiest furniture in the temple.
Come on, man. Come on, man. So you can't say Jeremiah was no poo-butt Hebrew who had full understanding of that sacrifice system that he spoke against.
Levi, watch his father get down.
Seeing all the blood spilling, all the ritualistics and all that. Oh, and look, you owe this to yourself. And this is a conversation. The reason why I don't tell y'all brothers' names when I talk and I bring stuff out because of privacy. You know what I'm saying? We talk. So it's not, I counsel a lot of y'all. So I talk to a lot of y'all. So I don't put y'all business out there. But Malaki right here, so I can tell you what me and Malaki be talking about. You see what I'm saying? It's crazy that you sit here and you can read in Deuteronomy that the Ark of Covenant is with the 10 Commandments. That's clear as day. The covenant ain't with the rest of the 613, nothing. Go right to Messiah and it asks the question we all ask what good thing that we may do or whatever to have eternal life. And he quotes the 10. He didn't quote no friend. He didn't quote nothing that you brothers try to hold us to. No dietary laws and nothing. Huh? He didn't do none of that. And then he asks you, y'all ain't nothing like Abraham, but at least Abraham hearkened to my voice.
Right.
Now, what you have to do, well, Genesis 18:19, he fed the angels and all that. Well, yeah, we just told you again, because first you got to realize that there is contradictions. And listen, you've been at the hands of the scribes. We all have. And this is me and Malaki conversation again. If you realize that you got 4 different accounts of Paul's conversion, you got different accounts, of Joseph as the father, not the father. We ain't never deny you read what you read, but then we also read what we read and get the same conclusion as you think you got the same conclusion. There is contradictions. There is throughout the Bible. So at the end of the day, you have been victimized, as we all have, by the hands of the scribe. So if you know when you got the King James Version, the Israelite conscious community did not begin in 1611. What King James did was authorize a translation. That means something was written beforehand. He was authorized to give a translation to where he can read it. So if things were taken out, why hard for you to believe things were added in? Because fish was not in there at first when you read the older manuscripts. And if you know anything about the histories, the Masoretic text, bro, he didn't even copy it out of a more pure text, if you want to call it that. You see what I'm saying? So all I'm saying is, if you can admit that certain things were removed, that's why you don't read the Jehovah's Witness Bible. That's why you don't read the NIV Bible. All the other Bibles that Israelites became, oh, read 1611. And now we got to tell you some more truth. There are things that have been what? Removed. So if things were removed, why is it hard for you to believe that things were added?
Right. Revised, edited, redacted.
Why you got to revise King James Version? Why you got a King James Version 2000? You see what I'm saying? Bro.
What he's saying right there in verse 17, I want to read that again. And he said, yeah, I got the, matter of fact, I can pull it up on the screen. I got that on what's called. But look, that verse 17, bro, is so profound to me, bro. End of 16 says, you speak against the Torah. Very charge we getting leveled against us these days, right?
Very charged.
And he said, against Moses, indeed, I do not speak, nor against the Torah. So he's saying, I ain't speaking. I'm not speaking against Moses. I'm not speaking against the Torah. I'm speaking against them who corrupted his Torah.
So who is the them?
Who's the them?
Scribes.
Wow.
And these Levites.
Wow. Dang.
And don't act like we making this up, because Christ tell you he have an art with them.
His main enemies was the scribes. Absolutely. One of his main enemies were the scribes, right? But against them who corrupted
the law.
Or the Torah.
So that's why you have to be given the spirit of what?
The spirit of truth. Thank you.
Because the truth is not what? In what you have. Oh.
Humble. Right. Right.
The truth. That's why he keep telling you, if you hear my voice, you'll be in the truth. Because what you got, and look, now, at this point, forever after this, because whatever you've been told, your ears, your conscience have not been brought to a notice. At this point, you're dealing with a corrupted version. And if Christ recognized it before the New Testament was written,
then what are we even arguing about?
Oh my God. If Christ recognized the corruption before the New Testament even hit,
that means
what we talking about?
That means then we ain't talking about nothing then. Because that means what Jeremiah said was absolutely true in Jeremiah 8. You understand?
Somebody just posted it in the room too. It's right here.
Look at this.
Who posted that? Hold on.
Verse 18. But he said, about this. Thou speak against the Torah. And he said, against Moses, indeed, I do not speak, nor against the Torah, but against them who corrupted his Torah. which he permitted for the hardness of your hearts. Verse 18. But behold, a greater than Moses is here.
Oh my God.
But behold, a greater than Moses is here. And all of us who believe.
That's my favorite verse in that book. If you would realize that he that is greater than the temple is him.
Yeah.
That's my fault, bro. You know, that's my favorite
I'm
thing.
saying, because Moses said one coming after me. Didn't he? And if you don't hearken to him, I'm going to require it of you. That means, look, the Most High is going to put his words in his mouth, and you better listen to everything he got to say. Moses is saying that he's greater than Moses.
He said, I'm here. But don't act like Jesus is making this up or we making this up because we heard the same thing when they came and said, we found him. That's in your KJV.
Exactly.
He said, we have found him whom Moses had spoken.
John, the first chapter, verse 45. YHWH the Nazarene.
Oh.
Jesus of Nazareth. If you look it up, it means Jesus the Nazarene. Yahushua the Nazarene. Yahushua HaNazarene. Yahushua the Nazarene, right? But behold, a greater than Moses is here. And they were wrath and took up stones to cast at him. And the Messiah passed through their midst and was hidden from their violence.
Don't act like this made up because the KJV tell you he did that.
No. Come on.
They said throw him off headlong.
Yeah, they was about to destroy him, wasn't it?
Bro.
I read this yesterday. I said, oh, all praises, Most High. Thank you for the book flipped right open to this. And I read and was like, wow. He's talking to believers. Look, they seeking to kill him. His word have no place in him. They not about the truth. He said they of their father the devil. You understand? Then they called him a devil. Then they asked him, well, why you and your disciples teach against flesh eating and the sacrifices and all that? Then he called them hypocrites. Y'all only going to Leviticus and y'all only going to Noah to satisfy your lust. But didn't Jeremiah say? Didn't he speak against the blood sacrifices and the chewing on flesh?
And the chewing on flesh.
Didn't he speak against that? Didn't the Most High ordain from the beginning the fruits and the grains and the seeds for the healing of the body of man and beast?
And who?
And beast.
And it says man has no preeminence over beast.
Then they say, oh man, you speaking against the Torah. I don't speak against Moses nor the Torah, but against those who corrupted his Torah. So who are those that corrupted his Torah, which he permitted for the hardness of your hearts? Y'all, how he responds, how we should respond. We ain't got to reinvent the wheel. Do we, NehemiYAH?
We do not.
We ain't got to reinvent the wheel.
Rolling.
Said it's already rolling, huh? All right, so look, let's hit this and we gonna close on out. Look at our Tillman. Tillman say, whoa, revelation. Wow. That's right.
That's serious.
Bring it out, I know you fixed
Bro,
it. When I read it, I said, bro, NehemiYAH can get a kick about this, boy.
Well, we done. That's it. That's it, bro. Because right now, listen, at this point, you just proved this book to be prophetic.
It has to be. Because every argument they have against us is in there.
We just read it tonight. Yeah. And guess what? They're not reading it. So they're not imitating the argument.
Right.
And they're not, no one wants to play the bad guy when it comes to Messiah.
Right.
You're playing the bad guy unwittingly.
All right, so let's take it a step further. What spirit is propelling them to talk like that?
Spirit of their father.
There you go. Yeah, of your father, the devil. Huh?
And you a murderer.
Let's
even go a little deep.
Come on.
It ain't really deep, but it's deep.
Yes, it is.
Right. Because you know everybody that's talking mess really got a certain little in their heart about
it. Yeah.
And if you got that, you a murderer, and the murderer will have no what? Eternal life in it.
Life dwelling in them, Mark.
Check this out. Because he says only the sons and daughters get to dwell. Right?
Right.
Bro, even more so out of Isaiah, right, or Isaiah, if you killing an ox, a lamb, and enemy, just like if you killing, and that blood is charged to you, bro. So if you kill an animal or eat the flesh of the animal, you still a murderer. You still a murderer, bro. You a murderer. Because they got a soul like you got one. They return to dust like you will. They'll live in peace in the kingdom like you will. Death to be taken away from them like you will. They get the same thing you get. And they ain't even part of no tribe. But you want to kill them so you can choose. Yeah. Because of the lust of your belly. Because it tastes good on an open fire when you grip.
He just said to satisfy your own lust. They charge our Mashiach. If y'all understand that the very arguments and the sayings that men are speaking against you, brothers and sisters, is what we just read tonight.
Has been prophesied about.
Has been prophesied about, and it's in the gospel of the Holy 12. If you understand that, give us an 8 up in the chat.
And they speaking against the Messiah directly.
Yeah,
you gotta add that.
Yeah.
They speaking against you.
Yeah.
They speaking against the spirit of truth.
The spirit of truth directly. I'm talking about it's the very same identical argument. What they saying is what they saying. What was said against him is said against us today. Verbatim.
Bro, we just read, bro. Whitney Houston and Deborah Cox made a song called Same Script, Different Case. Bro, this the same script.
Bro, it is.
Different case.
It is. And it's an honor to be a recipient of that ancient Nazarene
spirit. Boy, it feels
spirit,
good to be on the right side of the Messiah.
It does.
All y'all should rejoice.
It does.
The Bible tells you, rejoice with me and speak bad to you for his name's sake. Because that's what they doing.
Man.
Oh, my boy.
He called them, look, he called them hypocrites for even daring to go to Leviticus 11 and Deuteronomy 14 and Genesis 9 just about Noah. He said, you went there to satisfy your lust.
Ooh, well,
that need to be our response every time somebody comes. You just doing that to satisfy your lust.
That's it. Because you ain't doing it correctly.
Yeah, exactly.
Because if you gonna go down and keep the law, you indebted to the what?
Whole law.
Oh my God! And your boy told you.
Well,
what I came to give you is set you free. Boy, could you imagine the level of murder and the charges of murder people gonna see on Judgment Day?
Good night, boy.
You thought the sin that you thought you knew.
Man,
I was in the club and I did turn a little sister twisted a little bit, Oh, I did steal this from my people one time.
Well,
I did pop one of them things one time. I was drinking. I was drunk with quite a few, Yeah, I probably called somebody foolish or I did a whole lot, but I came to Jesus and I found out I was Israel. SHALOM, Lord. I found all that. Scourge and the righteous gonna be made.
Lord.
Yeah,
you crazy.
I'm telling you, Lord. We good.
Hey, man,
boy, Lord, I knew you was real. What? Depart from me.
Yeah, you.
He said, but Lord, I cast out devils and Lord, I was doing this and man, Lord, you see my sheep. I got a resume, Lord. I was putting in that work for you. Boy, you been a murderer. You show you, Lord, I ain't murdered nobody. Or your menu your whole life. He gonna run out your menu on you, bro. Bro, he gonna run your menu out on you. Do all the murder you committed. Oh my God.
So when the Messiah quoted Jeremiah, he quoted Jeremiah 7. But remember, he said, I don't speak against Moses. I don't speak against the Torah. I speak against them who corrupted his Torah. Right? All right. Well, who are those? So now you need to ask yourself, well, who corrupted this Torah? You understand? Because obviously everything that's written down must not be of the Almighty. That's what he's saying when he's saying, I'm not speaking.
Way before the New Testament.
Yeah, that was the New Testament wasn't even written then.
Y'all in trouble.
Yeah.
Bro, y'all, cats that don't believe, because I know they hate to listen. Oh, you gonna send it to them. Let me tell y'all in danger of hellfire. You better repent ASAP. Because y'all sending brothers to the death you know what I'm saying, chewing meat. And that charge is going to be laid on you because Jeremiah told you that. Jeremiah told you that too. Woe unto them that, scatter my flock and all that.
Yeah, Jeremiah 23. Now, these are all the different versions right here of Jeremiah 8 and 8. Remember, he said, I don't speak against Moses. I don't speak against the Torah. I speak against them who corrupted his law. All right? These are the different versions of Jeremiah 8 and 8. What we got, Nehemiah?
Well, they didn't revise the KJV, so we got an NKJV.
Mm-hmm.
So again, just, real quick, plant back off what I was talking about, right?
Mm-hmm.
We all are at the whim of the scribes and the pendant, right? But only thing I do is just stay focused on what Christ kept, what he approved of, and what he taught. And it'll free you from the rest of this.
Absolutely.
Because how y'all come out with fringe up, okay, you know what I'm saying? You walk up against some of these camps, you know what I'm saying? Y'all know what I'm talking about. I ain't got to bash nobody at this point. You know what I'm saying? They don't even want to talk to you if you ain't got no fringe on. These are the same brothers that wouldn't even talk to their own patriarch Abraham. Because ain't no written anything that said he had fringes on. And he got the covenant of God and the promises of God before he even getting the circumcision.
Absolutely.
So you can't say Rod checking.
Right. Now look at this. So this right here proves this right here proves who the they are, or the them are, who corrupted Moses' Torah. All right.
And the Levite priest told him that based on what the Lord told him.
Exactly. This is the Most High speaking through the mouth of Jeremiah, the Levitical prophets. What we got out?
In KJV, how can you say,
all right,
we are wise and the law of the Lord is with us? Look, the false pen of the scribe certainly works falsehood.
Good night. Good night. Look at that. How do you claim you got wisdom and all that, and the Torah is with you, when
you're corrupted?
The false pen of those who are in charge with writing out the Torah have written down falsehood. So meaning y'all the only one ordained to teach the Torah was Mashiach, Messiah. And he gave that understanding to his chosen.
And he was called anti-Torah. So understand, bro, what we teach is going to be considered
anti-Torah.
Just like the Messiah was considered
anti-Torah.
That's why Christ was the political killing of Christ was why? Because he was anti-Torah, which would be anti-priest, would be anti-what? Temple, which would be what? Anti-money, right? It would fall. The system they had set up that they thought that they had right this whole time was a failed system. A system of devils.
Well, we look at that NLT. What did NLT say?
How can you say we are wise because we have the word of the Lord when your teachers have twisted it by writing lies?
Hey, man.
Hey, remember that little white man, the little white baby man, when he had that sad face, the little white baby man, he'd be like this?
Yeah.
Let me pull it up, man. Somebody needs to see that meme right now, bro. Go ahead, bro.
All right. This right here is CSB. How can you claim we are wise? The Torah of YAH'S with us. In fact, the lying pen of the scribes has produced falsehoods. All right. So the them that he was speaking about, y'all, for y'all that don't know, and trip about this, the very scribes that were in play, that fraternal brotherhood of scribes that were in charge of writing out what everybody thought Moses wrote. 500 years later, that same brotherhood still existed and was against the Messiah. Everywhere where you see the Pharisees in there coming against, you see the scribes and the Pharisees
together.
Like nobody ever even thinks about, well, who the hell are the scribes?
They know what's going on.
Why keep talking about the scribes? Who are they? They are the ones that are in charge of writing
and
teaching and interpreting every point of the Torah. Now, why would they be at odds with the Messiah. Obviously, he taught different than what they interpreted and what they wrote down. That should be clear as day. Why would the scribes who are in charge of writing out the Torah be at odds with the Messiah, who the Most High ordained to teach the Torah? Why would the scribes be against it?
That's how y'all should be looking right now, like that little baby.
Exactly. All you gotta do is ask yourself that. Why would the scribes, the brotherhood that was in charge with writing out the Torah, be at odds with who the Most High anointed to teach the Torah? Why? Why? Just think about that. If you can understand that, the men who were in charge with writing down, who had the authority to write the Torah out, to teach the Torah, and to interpret the Torah, were enemies of our Messiah, who was anointed by Yah to teach it.
Prophesied to.
We got a problem then. We got a major league problem at this point.
Look, these cats are still under the Levites, bro.
Wow, that's major, bro.
These cats, hey, look, this is how enemies looking at the screen right now. That's how your enemies looking at the screen right now, bro.
We got a little heathen looked up.
That's how. That's how the enemy looking at us right now on the chat.
Look, I'm gonna say it one more time, y'all. The scribes were the ones who had the authority to write the Torah, interpret the Torah, and teach the Torah. Why would they be enemies of the Messiah, who was anointed by Yah to teach the true meaning of the Torah? Why? Why would they be his enemies? They had his crucifixion. They everywhere where the Pharisees is at. At every corner, they're coming against him, and they are the ones who were in charge with writing it and teaching it and interpreting it. Why would they be at odds with the Messiah, who was the only one anointed to teach the Torah by Yah himself? Because obviously, what they produced and what they were giving to the people and teaching the people was opposite of what Mashiach taught. That's clear as day. Why are they coming against him? Just type in scribes in the New Testament and see, dang, every word, they always coming against him. Why would they be his enemies? Obviously, he taught opposite than what the people received as the truth.
As the truth, which was falsehood.
Wow.
And meat eating was on there.
Wow. Yes, and flesh eating was one of them. We just showed that. Right here, I want to show y'all something else. We're about to go into the Peshitta Bible. I'm about to show y'all Jeremiah 7. This right, the Peshitta Bible is older than the KJV. Older than the KJV. 2nd century Aramaic. All right, now watch this. We're going to go to Jeremiah 7:21 in the Peshitta. Let me share the screen. I got it right here. I got it right here, brother. Right here. Shout out to my Ark Prince Yahudah Levi. What's the word, Prince? How you doing? I stand strong out there. All right, let me go ahead and type this in. If he was teaching exactly how they were teaching y'all, guess what? They would have never murdered him.
He would have had no need to come. But see, Moses knew that he had corrupted. Right? I'm going to say he knew. Because when we read it, tells you that he told him to take the pagan name off of it and put Yah on it. And only corrected half of the evil.
Yeah.
So he knew.
Yeah.
And everything else was more pacification while trying to get through the wilderness.
These Negroes was hard-headed, man.
And that's why when he was dying, he said he done closed the book at the end of the writing. He said they already know. Look, the book was just being closed. So if there was righteous out the gate and they became righteous in the wilderness, then why did Moses say out of his mouth that at the closing of the book and putting everything where he go on the side of the ark and in the ark, he said what? They already going on.
Man, put this right here as a witness against them for rebellion. All right, shout out Shalom, Peter McAllister, East Africa in the building. Bless up, Bless up. Good to see y'all in the building. All right, now watch this. Mashiach taught opposite of what our people have received as the truth. That's why they got at him. And that's hard for a lot of people to stomach, but it's the truth. All right. And he was the only one anointed to bring it out. All right, so right here, y'all, you about to see up on the screen. You about to see Jeremiah 7. And we're gonna close on out. All right, we can get deep into what we're gonna do tomorrow. I just wanted to come on and share some of that because to me that was profound. When I opened up that book yesterday, it landed right there. I said, wow, these very arguments they come against us. So what spirit is propelling them to speak what they're speaking against us? They don't read. They don't read what we read.
So they're not mimicking.
They're not mimicking. No, they're not. They are mimicking, just not on purpose.
So it's the spirit.
It's the spirit of the opposite, same spirit that came against YHWH is coming against us. And they're saying that they have the same arguments word for word. Wow. You can't make this up. They obviously got to be, you understand, spiritual warfare at its highest. Y'all, when we came out with them flesh pots, we found, we woke up that genie in that box. We kicked open the layer where all them demons was hiding.
It tells you most of the stuff is something.
Okay, y'all, so this is Jeremiah 7 out the Peshitta. All right. Now look at verse 21. 21 and 22. I want to pull it up on the screen. NehemiYAH has one over here. I want to pull it up on the screen so y'all can see that. All right, now watch this. Because in the Gospel of the Holy 12, he quotes Jeremiah and says, Jeremiah talking about the blood offerings and how the Most High didn't command it. If he didn't command it, but you look and you got commandments written down, then who them commandments come from then? They ain't come from the Most High. Who they come from? What that say, Nehemiah? Jeremiah 7, 21, 22.
Thus say Yahweh of hosts, the Elohim of Israel, add your burnt offerings to your sacrifices and eat meat, which I did not command your fathers to eat.
Is that crystal clear? This is Jeremiah the prophet. This is the Most High the Levite prophet. This is Most High speaking through Jeremiah.
The one who was charged to hide the covenant of God, the most sacred record.
Y'all eating flesh that he didn't even command to eat. And y'all ain't sure about this. This ain't pig meat he's talking about. Because that never was a lie. So what kind of meat we talking? Is it clean flesh? Brother, if it's clean flesh, brother. Well, Levites ain't offer pig meat. Verse 22. So we can throw that off the table. He ain't talking about catfish and shrimps and scampies and pig meat because the Levites never sacrificed it. So what meat are our people eating that he didn't command them to eat? Who we? Verse 22. Shit on back now. Verse 22.
Neither did I command them concerning either burnt offerings or sacrifices. So we got a specific point. In the day when I brought them out the land of Egypt.
Not sure about this, y'all. Passover and unleavened bread. All you gotta do is read Exodus 12. It's considered a sacrifice and a burnt offering. So then that's major because we all keep the Passover and we all talk about the lamb that was slain. You understand? Well, Malaki and Nehemiah ain't making this up. Jeremiah said it. The Most High didn't command that when we left Egypt. But it's in the story. The Most High didn't command that when we left Egypt. But you got laws concerning burnt offerings and sacrifices. So if he didn't command it, then who commanded it? It wasn't him. Wow.
Those people never apologize for the cow.
And these are the things that Messiah was bringing out back then. You understand? These are the things he was speaking on. Obvious truths that was already in the Torah. You understand? That people had accepted as the truth so much that when anybody said, look at that right there. That's simple. God, Yah didn't command it. they would kill you to shut you up. You see what I'm saying? But it ain't like we making that up. That's in there. Most High didn't command it. He did it. That wasn't him speaking when we came about Egypt. Concerning the slaughtering and the chewing on dead flesh. Regardless if you like what Nehemiah and Malaki is saying, y'all, that's in your KJV as well. So it ain't no ducking it, you dig? I just wanted to bring that out, real quick. Come on, chop it up with the family. You understand? We can go over some more tomorrow. All praise to the Most High. Nehemiah, talk to me, bro, because I said Nehemiah be ready to go. Talk to me, Nee.
Ain't nothing else to say, bro. I mean, now we see a clear, direct, prophetic connection between what Messiah was going through verbatim and words with the same thing that we going through by an enemy or a non-believer. I don't call him an enemy yet. A non-believer living and playing a role and quoting verbatim right out of the thing that was spoken against Messiah. But all while claiming they love the Lord. And he said, man, he gonna say, he quoted the prophet again, bro. Then he gonna say, Lord, Lord. They honor me with their lips, but their heart far from me. Bro, our people don't even realize how dangerous they play. Coming against us, and it's even about us, because this is the spirit of Messiah. Not saying that we Christ on no level, but what I'm saying is he gave us the spirit of truth. That's what he said he was going to lead. And he gave you a comforter because he knew there was going to be those who rise up against you. He also told you your enemies go to your own household. These are household Israelites we used to deal with. These have been the Israelites that's going to turn you in and talk about you. I never liked that Nehemiah Maccabee and that town crier and Nehemiah Ben Ezra. Yeah, he lived down the street. When we walk into the door, I drive you down there. No. And all that talking, all that showcasing, all that yes manning, all that was playing directly into the role of our wicked forefathers. Yes, I said wicked forefathers and what they did against the Messiah. Now it makes sense why he say count it all joy when they speak bad of you for my name's sake. Not because you heard Jesus, Jesus, Jesus. Oh, you believe in the Bible? Oh. No, that's simple. I'm talking about the true Christ that they hijacked. When that true Christ come out, you really see who on and who not. How hard is it really to believe? When you read about blood and all that in that Genesis 9 and in Proverbs and all that, bro, it talks about beasts. How are you going to sit there and say you love the Lord and you are a murderer of his creation?
All to satisfy your lust.
Especially when every pagan, devil, demonic god on this planet received blood sacrifices. Why would you think the one who is, and I love how his son said,
the all
holy, the all set apart, the all worthy of worship, the all deity. You know what I'm saying? Why would our Elohim be a bloodthirsty God? And a lot of people don't mess with this God because I heard my whole life, well, he showed us a blood. There's a different God in the Old Testament than there was in the New Testament. Because you have come to believe that your God is a bloodthirsty God. But then you were going to say, well, God changes not. But then you say he changed from meat. I mean, from fruit, herb, seed, nuts, to meat, and then take you back to fruit, nuts, and plants. That's confusion. But I tell you, girl, you cut your ass outside, I'm gonna beat your ass. And then you say, go ahead outside. So excuse my choice of language. I don't know. But look. And if you believe your God created wicked, then you home free. You get the kingdom because he set you up for failure. You catch what I'm saying? Then you calling God wicked. If you give him an attribute of wickedness, you calling your God wicked.
You blame him. I'm going to show y'all something when we get out of here. This is 5 minutes. All right, I want to show y'all.
That's the video?
I don't know if you've seen it. Did you? This is something else I want to show y'all.
Oh, okay. Yeah, you didn't review it yet, so I don't want to get kicked from you. Shout out to Young Shaw. Outcast.
Yeah, little Joey.
No, we ain't charging him.
Nah,
He only did it because he loved y'all. He wanted to entertain.
Look at this right here. Warning.
The Lamb of a blood person got ooh-wee. That title.
Look at that street.
الله أكبر الله أكبر الله أكبر لا إله إلا الله
ישראל אדוני אלוהינו אדוני אחד
الله أكبر الله أكبر ولله الحمد الله أكبر الله أكبر
صار طيبين
احسن من كده ليه؟ قاطع قاطع يا جدعان
كده خلاص مات ولا ايه؟
الحمد لله
انتوا بتحبوا تشوفوا الذبح يا جماعه في العيد؟ ما بتخافش من منظر الذبح؟ بص برضه بتكلم.
When you slit their throat, they don't feel pain?
The way they do it, the knife is so sharp.
You're going to kill someone else to atone for your own sins? You're going to accrue more sins?
It's not a sin. It's brought in the Bible.
Wow. What y'all think, Nehemiah? All that, look, all that. He said, no, he said, oh, I ain't gonna say this. It's in the Bible. And all that just because of what? Just to satisfy your lust, huh? Serious business.
The blood of Abel cried out tonight. Imagine what all the creatures blood is doing. He created, gave them breath of life just like he gave you. Created them for dust like he created you. Gave them someone like close to the same systems he gave you. Some variations. And you think that that creation, who has a DNA like you have, not quite as complex, but you know what I'm saying?
It was called, they were created Nefesh Kaya, living souls. They were called living souls just like you was called living souls. They tell you in Ecclesiastes 3:19, man don't even have no preeminence over no beast. They come down to death and all that extra, we got the authority, you know what I'm saying, over them while we living. But when it comes down to even dying, man ain't got no preeminence over no beast. What you just saw, y'all, was murder and torture. You saw the neck of these of them cows open. Heads of chickens being cut off. Streets filled with blood on Yom Kippur and Eid Kippur. They celebrating it at the same time. You see what I'm saying? You think that's what the Most High want? He said, I don't delight. So now read Isaiah 1 when he said, I don't delight in the blood of bulls, goats, and lambs. Who told you to tread my courts with this? Yeah, y'all, we at a war and we in a spiritual war. All right. And we love you enough to tell you stop throwing down your throat the things that's causing taboo. Stop throwing in your body dead things. It's time to dedicate these vessels completely over to the Almighty. You understand? And it's an honor to be a recipient of this understanding in these late hours. That means the Most High about to make a move and do something. You dig? And that means we're on the right side of the ball in this.
Hey, bro, you guys gonna need a faith, man. The faith has increased with this.
Exactly.
Even more so after the night, because now you know you on the winning side.
Absolutely.
Because that word just became all the way prophetic tonight.
All the way prophetic.
So what you just found out tonight, that word is now prophetic. Frighteningly accurate and true.
It is.
2,000 years later.
It is. It is.
Verbatim.
Verbatim.
The conversation verbatim.
Yeah. Exactly what they were saying against Mashiach. Verbatim is what they saying against us. And they don't even read what we read. Can't make it up. That means the spirit is propelling them to say that. It's the very same spirit that came against our Holy Messiah 2,000 years ago. That means that what we read out the Nazarene Gospels is authentic and true. Because how are y'all saying, how are these your arguments? I'm talking about the exact arguments. It's beyond crazy, you dig? So, hey man, let's pray on out, brother. You dig? It's, a little bit over 2 hours. We hit something real quick, and then we'll go into in depth and detail tomorrow if the Most High give us breath. And let's get her done, man. All praises, all glory, all honor to the Heavenly Father, forever live His anointed, beloved Son, in the hearts and minds of the faithful elect. Shout out to our brothers and sisters. Our brothers and sisters. Remember that. All right, we're supposed to be challenging each other to be divine, to walk in the image of the Most High God. Ain't you His son? Sister, ain't you His daughter? And we got to challenge each other to vibrate on that level of holiness and righteousness and godliness, period, point blank in the story. You understand? And make no mistake about it, this is spiritual war on the highest level. And I mean, it feels good being against everybody if you ask me, though. You dig? I kind of like it. I ain't gonna lie to you. I get a kick out of it. Because Messiah say, hey, look, leap for joy when they cast out your name as evil for my name's sake. You understand? Names being cast out as evil. We're not advising you to go do nothing wicked. You see what I'm saying? It's all about, like I said in there, the healing of the body. Get yourself together so the Most High can dwell in the clean temple. Don't you like a clean house? I know I do. I can't stand a filthy house. Can't stand it. How much more does the Most High who dwells within us during His Feast of Tabernacles? He dwells within us. You are His tabernacle. You are His dwelling place. Well, he want that clean and pristine condition. All right. So look, love y'all indeed in truth. We're gonna say us some prayers. You know what I mean? We're gonna face Jerusalem and let's go ahead and get her done. All praise and glory now to the Most High. All praise and glory now to the Most High. Allah, Lord Yah. Allah, Lord Yah. NehemiYAH, Ben Israel, my brother. Hey, I already knew. I said, when he gonna hear this and be like, wow, bro. That is crazy. Even down to calling him anti-Torah. Man, we hear that all the time. You niggas done turned y'all back from the Torah. We like, look, stop it. Stop it. Nah, against Moses or against the Torah, we don't come against. We come against those who corrupted this Torah, which was allowed for the hardness of your hearts. All right, what you got, Nee? Come on, let's get it.
Looking at probably Psalms 98. I was looking at some different songs.
Oh, okay. Oh, get it done, my beloved brother.
Psalms 98 with the Most High's permission. Oh, sing unto YHWH'S a new song, for he has done marvelous things. His right hand and his holy arm has gotten him the victory. Yahweh has made known his salvation. His righteousness hath he opened and showed in the sight of the heathen. He has remembered his mercy and his truth toward the house of Israel. All the ends of the earth have seen salvation of our Elohim. Make a joyful noise unto Yahweh. All the earth make a loud noise and rejoice and sing praise. Sing unto YHWH'S with the harp and the voice of songs, with trumpets and the sound of cornets. Make a joyful noise before Yahweh the King. Let the sea roar and the fullness thereof, the world and they that dwell therein. Let the floods clap their hands. Wow. Let the hills be joyful together. Verse 9. Before Yahweh, for he cometh to judge the earth. With righteousness shall he judge the world, and the people with equity. Hallelujah! Selah! Oh, yeah, he comes to judge the earth. And judge ain't wicked. That's right, it's righteous. It ain't, so you can't say, well, he's judging, he's evil. God's evil for judging people like that.
Nah, that's right. All right, y'all, we up out of here. Love all y'all indeed in truth. Y'all know what time it is. Dedicate these vessels completely over to the Almighty. He wants his dwelling place clean and pristine during his Feast of Tabernacles. You are his dwelling place. All right. And, with zeal, with righteous zeal, defend his dwelling place, defend his temple, defend his tabernacle. All right. By any means necessary. Love all y'all indeed in truth. We up out of here. Y'all willing, y'all see us tomorrow around 1 p.m. Central Standard Time. We're going to get it in even more. It'll be the Most High's will. You understand? Don't stop till you Enoch. All right. Long live the King. One love. Holla, Lord Yah. Strap up back up. Yahoo.